The Associated Press with this headline: after 6 months of war, Israel's isolation grows with no end in sight. An excerpt from the Associated Press here. When Israel declared war against Hamas, it stood unified at home and enjoyed broad backing from around the world. Now Israel finds itself in a far different place, bogged down in Gaza, divided domestically, isolated internationally, and increasingly at odds with its closest ally. Again, an AP quote there. And against the backdrop, all of that was said, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu delivered this message yesterday.
We will stand united. We will strike our enemies. We will eliminate Hamas. We will free our hostages. And with God's help, we will bring total victory.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi joined more than 30 House Democrats in writing a letter to President Biden. Here it is. We strongly urge you to reconsider your recent decision to authorize the transfer of a new arms package to Israel and to withhold this and any future offensive arms transfers until a full investigation into the airstrike is completed. Now, that, of course, that airstrike is in reference to the accidental killing of 7 aid workers last week. The Wall Street Journal's editorial board says Democrats are playing into Hamas's hands, and that cutting off weapons to an ally in wartime would be the definition of betrayal. Nir Barkat, Israel's Minister of Economy and Industry, a former IDF paratrooper and former mayor of Jerusalem, we welcome you into the Faulkner Focus. Thank you for being with me. First of all, I want to try to understand your vision for where Israel goes at this point with its military.
Well, October 7, Israel was attacked by terrorists, by jihadists. And from Hamas' perspective, October 7 is just the first incident. Their goal, their charter, together with Iran and Qatar, is to kill Jews all over the world. Actually, it's not just Jews, it's to kill all non-Muslims and to bring Sharia law. That's their charter, and they're a vicious enemy. What we saw October 7, the massacres, the killing, the raping of women, we have to make sure that these Nazis do not survive this war. And it's an interest not just for Israel, it's an interest for all peace-seeking people around the world. So that's our goal. There's a consensus on that with the President of the United States, with the free world, and that is our goal. We've got to finish that task.
So, you know, I'm curious about why the world doesn't push against Hamas. What is the precedent for not pushing against the terrorists and demanding that the hostages come home? I mean, there should be a global voice at this point. We don't even need Biden to say much if the world will join in on that. What is keeping the world from jumping in?
Well, unfortunately, I agree with you. I think that every rational person has to understand that the alignment of evil, the alignment of Iran and Qatar. Iran is giving arms and Qatar is funding public opinion. There have thousands of people working against Israel, against the free world, to try to eliminate us and
so you've seen TikTok.
Generally, it's not just that. It's funding the universities. It's blood money that they're using. They're using money and supporting Hamas and Jihad and ISIS all over the world. They're the biggest funders. And they have blood on their money. And they're funding and buying their way here in the United States and all over the world. So we understand the sensitivity of the world and the American administration to make sure that no innocent people are hurt. We understand that, and we will help, because we have no quarrel with the citizens you know, we don't want collateral damage. We want to focus on the terrorists, and that's what we will do. And we will consider all our friends in the world that are concerned about having people, you know, sometimes people get hurt, of course, and we don't like that.
War. I think people understand that, you know, that the 7 aid workers complicated matters because the chef that runs that food program spoke out quite strongly against Israel. I'm going to ask my team, do we have a little bit of that to play? Okay. We'll move on at this point. I did want to ask you, though...
just let me react to that one, please,
Sure.
with your permission. You should know that 40 Israeli soldiers were killed by friendly fire. And also 3 of the hostages that escaped Hamas were killed by friendly fire. This is friendly fire, and it happens all over the world. It happens to America. It happens in the Second World War. It happens, unfortunately, everywhere. And we're really sorry, and we are, we share condolences with the family of the victims. And it's very unfortunate. But you don't change your strategy fighting jihadists and terrorists because, unfortunately, we have sometimes people hurt from friendly fire.
Well, Biden seems to think you might, because that's what he's demanding. Let's move to this. Israel facing now an imminent threat from Iran. Its defense force chief says Israel is prepared for a, quote, multi-front war, end quote. Iran publicly vowed revenge for a deadly strike on one of their embassy buildings in Syria last week. It killed one of their top generals, the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps there, the Quds Force. 4 Israeli officials told the New York Times Israel was behind that attack, although the government has not, to our knowledge, at least today, on the record, taken official responsibility. The New York Times also reports Iran is planning a direct attack on Israel. President Biden and his administration reportedly are very worried. The deputy chief of staff for Iran's president posted this. Iran warns U.S. leadership not to get dragged into Netanyahu's trap for U.S. Stay away so you won't get hurt. Here's Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Iran and its proxies are the most destabilizing force in the Middle East. The president and his team are working hard to prevent escalation and are prepared to defend any attack and respond swiftly if necessary.
What's your response to that?
Well, it's well known that Iran is a jihadi state. They're the biggest funder of terror around the world. They fund Hezbollah. They arm Hezbollah, together with Qatar, by the way. They are behind Hamas, and their charter, like all of the Muslim Brotherhood alliance, which is an evil alliance, want to destroy the state of Israel. This is not new. We've been saying this for, unfortunately,
I want to cut in just one quick second. Just one quick second. How do you change the world's perspective and get the world behind you again? Got to make it quick.
Well, I think that the rationale, people have to understand that the jihadists are not just after Israel. They call us the little Satan, and the United States is the big Satan. From their perspective, the West, the Christians and Jews are enemies of Islam. And from their perspective, that's what's written on their charter. That's what they're saying in Arabic all over in their hometowns. Listen to what they're saying in Arabic. And the world has to understand we're all on the same line. And if we don't win here in Hamas, you're going to see this, it's going to fuel the jihadists all over the world. You're going to see it in Europe, in the United States. We all understand that. And the moderate Arab states, like the Emiratis and the Saudis and the rest of the moderate Arab states, are deeply concerned about this move, because they all understand that it's not just Israel's war that we're fighting. People have to understand that.
I appreciate you going into such great detail with me today. It's very, very important as our president begins to look duplicitous as he gives war materials and then tries to win votes at home by saying that he's against the war going on at this point and wants a ceasefire or whatever his idea is. So having you on is very important. I appreciate your time.
Well, we got to stay united here. It's a bipartisan issue. It's not a partisan issue, and we got to make sure that the alignment of good beats the alignment of evil.
Nir Barkat, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.